Hi guys, today we're gonna be making a video reacting to I think I got a rare disease. It's by Dory's story. Let's get into it.
My name is Kyle. Have you
Okay,
ever
we
been
know
so
that.
scared of something that you just couldn't cope? I ate myself, and it isn't a figure of speech. As long as I
How
remember
could you eat
myself,
yourself?
I lived in constant fights. My parents fought every day.
He must have the pain that he must have two rare conditions. When he don't eat himself or when he don't feel pain. Because if you take a bite of yourself, that would hurt too much to keep on doing it.
They yelled to the point that I, a 15-year-old guy, as I had done in my childhood, hid under the bed.
Why does he have black eyes? Yeah, he looks evil. God knows why he eats his
I bit my own
hands.
fingers and forearms until they bled so as not to scream from anger and powerlessness. My fingers looked like stumps. My lips
So he did feel pain.
and inner sides of my cheeks were bleeding and would not heal. And when they hurt too much, I chewed my tongue and my hair. I understood that it was abnormal, but could
Why
not
would
stop
you chew
eating
your
myself.
hair?
You can't.
That's the weirdest thing, chewing your hair. I've never done that. Mine ain't even big enough to do that.
Imagine how many times I tried to stop, but this terrible habit was always stronger than me. My life seemed like a nightmarish maze without an exit. But one day, in the midst of darkness, a ray of light appeared. This ray was Miss Green, the school's new psychologist and a very nice person. She came to deal with children and their problems, one of who was me.
Why in almost every story, whatever these things are, whatever they should called, why does it always end up in school? It's always in school. I don't know why.
We met once a week and spoke, meaning she spoke while I quietly sat and looked at the ground. How I wanted to say just one word, but I couldn't. I was scared that as soon as I opened my mouth, she would start yelling, just as it had always been with my parents. One day, Miss Green offered to
Didn't he just say that she was nice? That don't make any sense.
play a game to get to know one another better. She asked many questions, and I was supposed to draw the answers. At first, I liked it, but everything went off the
That's weird. Draw your answer.
rails when Miss Green asked, "What are you scared of, Kyle?" I took a large piece of paper
He might be going, my parents, they fight too much.
and drew for 2.5 hours.
God
Though for me,
damn!
it seemed as though not more than 2 minutes went by. All that time, Miss Green closely watched me and wrote down remarks in her notebook. When I showed her my drawing, all she could say is, "God, Kyle." In the drawing were the eerie shadows of my parents who I saw every day from under my bed. "I'm scared of getting the fear," was the only thing I told her throughout all of our sessions. Miss Green took the drawing with her, saying she wanted to show it to someone. She gifted me a drawing book in which I would draw. Among its pages, there was a note. "Kyle, you're the most courageous person of all." I started carrying this note under my heart. Now, during my parents' fights, I didn't chew on my fingers, but I wrote in my book. It seemed like I wasn't too bad at it. My fingers, cheeks, and forearms finally started healing. I felt normal, and after each session with Miss Green, it became easier.
This kid weird as hell.
She was so nice and beautiful. One day,
See, it always starts out with a love story. There's always a love story. Like, I feel like these are fake. Yeah, these are fake, I think. Because it's always with the same people. Everyone always has a love story.
I understood that I was in love. I imagined that after finishing school and college, I would come and marry her. But my dreams were destroyed when I saw Miss Green kissing a guy. I was heartbroken. I wanted to scream. But instead, I hid under a bridge. I cried nonstop and bit my fingers, lips,
I thought he was good at it.
cheeks, and forearms. In my fist, I squeezed the only important things for me, Miss Green's note. That morning, the police found me. I was almost unconscious, and I was taken to the hospital. My parents were already waiting in the ward. As soon as we were alone,
Wait, let me guess. They're gonna scream at him for doing all that shit. Okay.
they started yelling. How could you run away from
Yep.
us? Do you
No
even
way.
imagine what problems you created? I couldn't listen to their yelling. I needed to hide, crawl under the hospital bed. But suddenly, I felt something soft in my fist. Miss Green's note. This piece of paper filled me with strength. Courageous, I whispered. But my parents didn't hear the words. The most courageous person of all is me, Kyle! I yelled in such a way that they suddenly became quiet. Mom and Dad looked at me. In their eyes, I saw the same fear that followed me my entire life. Shut up! Go away! I don't want to see you! I yelled, repeating what they would tell me.
This kid grew some balls under that bridge. God damn. If I was half as loud as that, I would not even survive, to be honest.
Hearing the yelling, the doctor ran into the ward and got my parents out. Miss Green and the guy she had kissed came inside. He ended up being her fiancé and a teacher at one of the country's best art schools. His name was Gary. He told me that the best art critics and artists were amazed by my drawing. I was invited to participate in a contest to
Wait, I think the kid's too young to date Mrs. Green, whoever that person was. I think he's too young.
receive a scholarship to their school. A month later, I won it. I left my parents and started my studies. It was very hard for me to speak with people, but I already have friends. At the end of the story, I guess there's supposed to be an ending about the fact that I no longer bite my fingers or cheeks. But that's not the case. I just can't get rid of this habit. I used to eat myself because of fear. Now I do it when I draw with inspiration.
God knows how this kid would come out if no one even helped him. His parents would, to be honest, I feel like his parents would just leave him under the bridge. Just let him die.
Van Gogh cut off his ear. And God help me, I won't bite off my finger at some point. Thanks for being with me these few minutes.
Okay, like the video and comment if you liked it, and subscribe please. And try to get me to 20 views or subscribers, and I might do a face review. But Edward Velasquez, go subscribe to him too. Okay, bye guys.